that'll give a bigger video for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And Mark, maybe just in the back end, you could let us know that this is all going through okay. There's a lot of technical bits and pieces here today. But and by the way, if you have just tuned in, you've tuned in at a good time, because we're just about to go through and reveal my amazing school project here, which is my artwork on my whiteboard behind me here in my office. So what I want to talk to you about now is obviously Kibo Eclipse. And if you're tuning in here on Super Sunday, then you're probably trying to decide whether or not this is something that you want to be involved with. So my real objective here is to make sure that you get an informed, or you get all of the information that you could possibly need today to be able to make an informed decision. When you've got questions, again, use the chat, little chat feature that we've got just below the broadcast. And we will do our absolute best to recap everything. And we're going to start off by peeling back some of the layers on my little whiteboard here. And this is the first one. And this could all turn to custard, because these things have been falling off like every 5 minutes. I guess the tape that I use doesn't stick very well on these whiteboards, but they're all there at the moment. So I'm going to start peeling them off, and we'll see.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the first one. And the really important thing that I want you to know is that this is completely battle tested. And I don't just say that for the sake of saying it. I say it because over the past 2 years, we have been teaching the foundation of the Kibo code, to a lot of different people who have taken massive action, implemented it. And many of those people have been able to really create life-changing results. In fact, we've got someone on who we're going to be talking to in about 30 minutes time here, who has built an amazing business. He does this kind of on the side, and you'll learn more about him a little bit later, but he's built an amazing business from this. And he's an example of one of the people who have come through one of our original Kibo code iterations. Now, Kibo Eclipse is our third iteration of the Kibo code, and it is by far the most sophisticated and advanced of any of them. And the reason for that is, well, there's multiple reasons. I'm going to get to them in just a moment. But Kibo Eclipse builds on the foundation, the core Kibo code e-commerce foundation. And it does that with a lot of new technology and different bits and pieces that I'll get to in just a moment. But getting back to this whole thing about it being battle tested, our student stores have had hundreds of thousands of customers at this stage. Our student e-commerce stores, that's not even counting our own. Our students have listed and tested over 400,000 products. And again, I'm mentioning this to you because I want you to know how this is not something that we just whip together. It's actually something that a lot of people have been using very effectively. It took us over 48,000 man hours to develop the technology, which is just staggering. We've got a whole team of developers. I don't know exactly how many are on staff, but we've got like 20 full-time developers, somewhere in that range, who are just working on the software, the HQ that powers our entire business. And I'll jump across to my computer a little bit later on and actually give you a bit of a deep dive into just what the HQ can do. We've invested $2.41 million of our own money into testing and refining a lot of the different processes. So as I start talking about some more of the things and revealing some more of the different items here, you'll see that a lot of the technology is based around best practices. And these best practices are things that we've learned from well over a decade of running e-commerce stores ourselves. But a lot of it has required, it's like you have to test things out to find out, well, what is the absolute best way to set up a shopping cart? What is the absolute best design for conversions? And you do that by testing. And to test, you have to oftentimes spend money. Now, when you're using Kibo Eclipse and selling products, you do not have to spend money because we're using free traffic. I'm just saying that we've poured a lot of our own hard-earned money into testing all of this out so that you can pick it up and you've got the absolute best out-of-the-box solution for building an e-commerce business, and you can do it in the fastest and easiest way possible. Now, the other thing that I think is pretty impressive is that the Kibo code has been responsible for over $47 million in sales, which is just phenomenal. And if you said to Steve and I a couple of years ago that our students were going to have such huge success, it would have been hard to believe, just because the numbers are absolutely huge. Now, another really important thing, I'm going to peel back the gold piece of paper for this one, is that this is the last time that we are ever going to be training people on the Kibo Code model. We have been, this is our third iteration. We've been doing it and investing a lot of our time into it over the past couple of years. But we've decided that this will be the last one, because moving forward, we're going to be spending more time. We want to really double down on building our own Kibo business. Now, this is actually really good news for you if you decide to join us. And if at any time you do decide that you want to jump in, you can see a link just below this broadcast that you can click to actually be able to join up. So this is the final iteration. But the good news for you, if you're part of this, is that you're actually going to get lifetime access. So the way it's worked over the past couple of years is the first version of the Kibo Code came out in January 2020, so 2 years ago. And that was pre-pandemic, by the way. So you've seen how the e-commerce landscape and just the world has evolved enormously since then, and our methods have as well. But the people who came in 2020, they had to invest again to be able to get the Kibo Code version that we released 12 months ago, a year ago. So the difference here is that when you invest in this today, you are getting lifetime access. So although we are not going to be doing another training course to the public in 2023 or 2024 about our Kibo e-commerce system, you will get updates by virtue of being a lifetime member. And I'll get down to how we decided to set the price for Kibo Eclipse in a moment, but these two things here and just the wealth of other technology and breakthroughs that are in this, we originally planned on selling this for $9,997. And a lot of that is to do with just the massive breakthroughs, advancements, changes that we've been through, and also the lifetime access that you're getting there. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the model, okay? And I'm going to peel back the blue one for this, and I'll see if I can do it without screwing everything up here. And I do have a lot of tape on this because these things were just falling down every 5 minutes. But I think I managed to get it. And there's one more little one over here, which I'll get off as well. So what we're doing here is we are building, oh, and I forgot the yellow one. So you need to see this one because that's you, potentially, coming on your e-commerce journey, right? So you're starting your journey, and we've really got 3 steps, and I'll be able to get into more details about these once I shift over to my computer in a few moments' time. But the way that we start out is we start out by activating product. So in the past, what we've done is we've had about 10 different steps we've had to go through. But with all the new technology, bells and whistles and refinements that we've made, we've been able to break it down just to 3 simple steps. And it starts with activating products. And I'm going to share how we do that using technology called Oracle in a few moments' time here. But activating products is essentially identifying products that you can sell on your store. And with the business model, the e-commerce model that we use, we don't limit ourselves to one certain niche. So you could have a website, aidensuperstore.com. And in aidensuperstore.com, I could sell all kinds of products. I could sell, iPhone cases, whiteboard markers, linen for the house, absolutely anything and everything that you can imagine. And the beauty of this is, and because we're using free traffic, which I'll get to in just a second, you can put a lot of different products up. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. And you can just see which ones are the ones that are converting the best and making the most sales. And then you can start doubling down on those. But we never start off by saying, I'm really passionate about gardening. I'm going to build a gardening store. We don't do that. We have a general purpose store that allows us to test a whole range of different products and find out which ones work, because we don't want to limit ourselves to just being in one particular niche. It also gives us a lot more flexibility and acts as a little bit of a safety net, because we can easily pivot in different directions at any given point in time. So you're going to activate your products first, and you can do that at the push of a button. We can get our products into our stores in literally 7 seconds from this amazing product finder called Oracle that we'll talk a little bit about. Now, once your products are in your stores, this is when you're going to start getting free traffic. And as soon as you get traffic, or as soon as your products are published, you could be starting to sell your product. And the free traffic will come from a range of different places. But to give you an example, all of the social channels are working incredibly well right now for free traffic. In fact, you'll hear from someone a little bit later who's been getting thousands of orders through Pinterest as a social channel. Facebook Marketplace is another one, Facebook Shops, Instagram, TikTok, you know, and there are many, many other sales channels as well that you can use. The point is, though, that using the model that we've developed here and the technology, you're able to leverage these simultaneously. It's not just like in the past where we were focused on one or maybe two different channels. Now we can be, you know, making sales on a whole range of different marketplaces because we've got the tools that allow us to do it and the plug-in sort of integrated technology that allows us to do it. So in your first 30 days, we've got something called the 30-day challenge. And this is where we are trying to get you to do 100 sales in your first 30 days. We think it's really important that you get that psychological win early on so that you can see and understand how this works and just see firsthand that you can make sales. And we want to get you to, in that first 30 days, a run rate of $1,000 per week in profit. Now, those first couple of steps there, they could get you from anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 per week. And we've had people come in the past who have made sales literally within hours, within just a few hours of getting their products up. Because as soon as you start getting traffic, and because our stores are so well optimized, you put yourself in a position to be able to make sales. But the real magic happens and the real big money comes when you go a little bit further along that journey and are multiplying into different marketplaces. And this is where some of these incredibly exciting opportunities really come into their own. And the big one that we've been talking a lot about is Walmart. Now, Walmart is absolutely huge. I mean, if you look at it just on a revenue standpoint, it's actually twice the size of Amazon. But what people don't know is that Walmart is getting to be huge online as well. It's no longer just a massive offline superstore. It's also a massive online marketplace that is really, you know, putting Amazon through its paces and becoming a real challenger to the throne with Amazon. And even if Walmart never completely catches up to Amazon, which it may well do, it will almost certainly get to a point where it's got 50% of the market share. Or, I mean, I think it's already at like 20% of the market share. It's absolutely huge. And we've used Walmart, I mean, forgetting about all the other strategies and all the core foundation of the Kibo Code, we've used Walmart to generate $35,000 in a single day. And they are strategies that we've built into Kibo Eclipse that we've never been able to share with anyone before because for the past 12 months, we've been in the trenches testing all of this stuff out. Now, the beauty of this sort of journey and the model that we're using is you can get results really, really quickly. I would say that it's the quickest way that I know of to get results online, and certainly the most reliable. And by the way, it's also the one that most people can kind of understand because sometimes, you know, other models can be a little bit complicated and stuff, but everyone understands e-commerce. You've got a store, you sell products in other, you know, in different places and you make money. Now, you can do all of this as well without any of the hurdles or headaches that people have had in the past. So, for example, just to peel back another one of these here, you don't need any inventory at all up front because you're selling other people's products and you're using a drop shipping model. Now, all of these products, I might add, are already in the United States, that you're not having to worry about dealing with overseas suppliers, you're not dealing with China or anything like that. They're products that are already sitting in warehouses in the United States and you can sell them on your store. You can find the wholesalers using our special software, which I'll get to in just a second, and you can make sales. I've mentioned about the free traffic, and the beauty of that is you don't have to pay for ads. So one of the great things about this model is you're not going to be out of pocket at any stage because there really is no cost once you're on the inside. The only thing that you will need to buy is a domain name, which you can get for $10, and we'll show you how to do that. There's no expensive software. In the past, as we've been building and developing this model, we've used a range of different platforms. We started off using WordPress a few years ago, and that was very clunky, lots of different bits and pieces that you sort of had to try to sort of mesh together, and it didn't quite work that well. Shopify worked a little bit better, but to be able to do what we wanted to do, we still had to cobble together you know, a whole bunch of different apps that would allow us to sell. And that was quite expensive. I mean, we were paying $1,100 per website that we set up when we were using Shopify. And, you know, one of the huge benefits that you get here by being part of Kibo Eclipse is you don't have any of that cost. That's a big saving on day one, is that you don't have the cost of needing to have this expensive software because we've got all of that included in what we've put together for you here. Now, more good news. You don't have to worry about dealing with Amazon unless you want to, but we don't really. Amazon might be a marketplace that you want to sell on a little bit later, but we don't recommend you do it from the get-go. It's very competitive. It's a competitive marketplace. There's a lot of fees there as well. And I'm saying this as someone who does a lot of sales on Amazon. We do millions of dollars every single year selling on Amazon. So I really do know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Amazon. And I can tell you that it's not the path of least resistance for most people, okay? The path of least resistance is being able to quickly set up a store, sell in different marketplaces with free traffic, and then expand out to other marketplaces that can be absolute home runs like Walmart. And we'll talk more about this and why this is such a huge opportunity in a few moments' time. So you don't have to worry about Amazon. You don't have to worry about importing products from China or anywhere else for that matter. And it's not just the case of importing them. It's when you do bring in products from overseas, there's all kinds of different admin headaches. Like there's duties. Sometimes your products get stuck in the in the ports, and sometimes your products will arrive faulty, and then you're really screwed. And oh, by the way, if you had to buy a lot of inventory up front, then you might be out of pocket as well. So we don't deal with any of that. We don't deal with any of that. And there's no real administrative headaches either. So in the past, people have needed like reseller certificates, EIN numbers, lots of different things like this. That with this model here, and especially because of the way we identify and find our product, you just don't need any of that. Now, the next thing that you don't need is experience, because this is a recipe that we guide you through step by step by step how to build this business. And it's based on everything that all the knowledge that we've built up over the past 13, 14 years of running our own e-commerce stores. There's no geographic barriers either. So by that, I mean, you can be anywhere in the world. Right now, I'm in Argentina. For the past year, I've been in New Zealand. You can run this business from anywhere in the world, and there's no single point of failure. So one of the issues and challenges that some people have had in the past is there's been fewer traffic sources to go from, to leverage. And if, for example, Facebook isn't one that you want to use, or is one that you've had challenges with, that could be a bit of an issue. But what we're doing in 2022 is we've got a multi-pronged approach that allows us to make sales through a whole range of different marketplaces, and of course on our own store, which is incredibly optimized and just an incredible sales machine as well. So with the Kibo Eclipse model, we have eliminated all of the headaches that have sort of plagued people when they've gone about building online businesses in the past, including e-commerce businesses. And we do it all with this here is our sort of our battle cry, if you like, is speed, profit, and scale. So this here is really what our focus is all about: getting sales quickly, being able to have high profit margins, and being able to scale. So we can we've got speed. We've absolutely got speed because we can get products up in just a matter of seconds, okay? Profits, we can actually have much higher profits especially because we're starting with free traffic, okay? And scale, we've got massive scaling opportunities later when we start expanding into different marketplaces. And just one of them I mentioned a moment ago was Walmart. It's absolutely huge. So how, though, do you go from starting out your journey here to going through to making thousands of dollars potentially per day, like some of our best students? Well, the way that you do it is through using the different components that we've put together for you. And I'm going to start revealing these and just talking about them a little bit. And I'm so happy that these little pieces of cardboard haven't been falling down, because I really don't know what I would have done if that had happened, but I'll just make sure they're still stuck on there. Anyway, first two components. The first component is training, and this is what we call our incubator. And we really pride ourselves on putting the absolute best training out there. And the way that this works is every week we release the next module, and we do that with live training, a live webinar. We'll get on a live webinar and we'll share, what we're doing. And one of the big things that we're doing differently this year is we're doing a watch and copy style of training. It's radically different to anything we've done in the past, whereby we will actually build out a store and you'll be able to see us doing that live right in front of you. Now, the other thing that we do as part of the training is we roll out bite-sized videos, and this is all organized into different modules. So you've got module 1 where you'll be just starting out, module 2, you might be adding product and building your store, and so on and so forth. But the point is, you're going to get over 100 different videos that guide you through step by step by step by step. And I know it's over 100 because we have mapped out the entire curriculum and we know exactly what you're going to need every step of the way. Now, the other thing that we do, which is a little bit different to what a lot of other people do, is every single video that we put out, we transcribe it, we make summary notes, and we also, when necessary, create visual aids for you as well, like process maps and so on and so forth. So the training is the absolute best in the business, and we leave no stone unturned. I mean, this is the recipe that I was screaming out for when I got started online in 2005. And, you know, like I said earlier, I was working on my laptop from these cafes in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I had no blueprint. It took me 2 years to sort of get up and running. But what we're talking about doing is getting you to 30 sales in your, 100 sales in your first 30 days. 100 sales in your first 30 days. So lightning speed. And a big part of that is the blueprint. Now, building on that blueprint and on that training is what we call our office hours. So this is something that we did for the first time in 2021. And in 2021, with our Kibo Code group, we did 1 office hour session a week. And we saw how effective it was. So we are ramping them up and we're doing 3 sessions per week this year. And this is where we're going to be giving you more touch points, essentially. So it's also a different style of training to what we cover in component number 1. The office hours is more about us being able to analyze what you might be doing. And for example, putting, if you want, your store in a hot seat where we have a look at it, we have a look at the different products you might be selling and we give you tips, or about us just showing you what we're doing at any given moment in our business. So for example, maybe in one of the office hours, we might jump on and just go through and spend 30 minutes finding 30 different products, and we'll show you how we do it. So these kinds of in the trenches, sort of operational, over the shoulder, you know, trainings with demonstrations have proven to be really, really effective. People absolutely love them. And again, with this and this combined, you're getting 4 trainings per week. Now, if you feel like, oh, you know, I might not be able to tune in, I thought it's absolutely fine, because everything is recorded and everything is put in the members area that you're going to have lifetime access to. Now, the other thing that we do in the milestones, because we're doing 3 times a week, is it gives us an opportunity to make sure that you're on track and hitting the milestones. We've got a roadmap that sort of guides you through, you know, after week 1, you should be here. After week 2, you should be here. After week 3, you should be here. And that's why we can do this kind of 100-day plan where we can get you $10,000 per week, potentially, because we've got these milestones all mapped out. And this is very much a numbers game. Like, we know that if we publish X number of products on our website, a certain number of them are going to become home run products. And as we work through the milestones, part of what we're doing is guiding you on what you need to do to make sure that you're doing the correct thing at the correct time to get these kinds of results. So the milestones are a big part of it. And again, I think we've just absolutely nailed it with the training, and you're going to be able to see how you can move forward and get the same kind of results as the students that have been through our program in the past. But this time you'll be doing it even faster and in a more streamlined fashion because of the different tools that we've now got at our disposal. So the HQ is absolutely amazing. I mean, there's nothing quite like this on the market. The HQ is your mission control center. It's your centralized login portal where you can control everything in your business. You log in there and you can see how much money you've made, how many sales you've done, who's purchased your products. This is where you integrate with all the different sales platforms as well. So at the push of a button, you can have your products be zapped into Facebook or zapped into Pinterest or into Walmart, into Google, wherever you want to sell them. And it covers absolutely everything. I mean, it's just such an important part of everything that we're doing. It really is the glue that holds everything else together. And it's got all the bells and whistles built into it as well. And I'll talk more about these shortly here. Now, nothing like this exists on the market. There's nothing like this out there. The closest thing that you get to it would be a combination of something like Shopify with, 20 different apps installed, and you'd be paying over $1,000 a month, and it wouldn't be work in such a streamlined, seamless fashion. The other thing about the HQ is it allows you to build your website. It allows you to install, quickly develop a logo, get a domain name, all of these different things, all from one place. And you're not limited to just one website either. You can put you can run, multiple websites through the HQ. Now, Oracle, which is also linked in to the HQ, is a huge breakthrough. And this is something that is completely new. I mean, all of these things are new, but Oracle is new in the sense that no one has even thought about something quite like this, not in the way that we've approached it anyway. But the objective for Oracle is to streamline and simplify the process of finding products to sell on your store. This has been a bit of a stumbling block for people in the past, especially, because it's been difficult to know how many products are in stock. It's been difficult to sometimes find suppliers. But with Oracle, you've got an almost unlimited number of suppliers. We tap into different supplier databases there, but one of the main ones is eBay. And eBay is a sophisticated platform now with thousands of wholesalers on it. And these wholesalers have got huge catalogs in many cases, huge catalogs of different products. And you can sell any of these products. Now, not only does it allow you to see who the wholesalers are, but it shows you exactly how much inventory they've got of each product. And it's live data in real time. So you can see, okay, well, there's 13 of this, or there's 51 of that, and not just that, but it also allows you to see how many of those products have been sold in the past 30 days. And there's this cool little graph, a little chart that shows you what the sales volume has been over the past few months and the revenue as well. So you can get all of this information, and you can get all this information at the push of a button. There's different sliders on, and I'll be able to show you this when I'm at my other computer in a few moments time here. But these sliders allow you to quickly analyze millions of products, literally millions of products, in a matter of seconds to identify the very best products that you want to sell. This tool here is easily worth the price of admission to Keyword Eclipse, because it is an absolute game changer, and there's nothing else quite like it on the market. And you might not be able to read this, but that says 7 seconds to live. That's how long it takes to get a product listed. And you can even do it on a smartphone. So I was just chilling out the other day, and I've loved playing around with Oracle because it's brand new technology. It's hot off the press, and I was playing with it on my phone. I was published a few products to my store on my phone, and it's just amazing. It really is next level. So that's enormously valuable. Now, we've got some more components here as well, and all of these are designed to help you succeed faster and get bigger profits with your business. So component number 5 are the converters. And the one that I really want to highlight here is AI technology. And it's AI technology that enables you to have almost like a virtual sales assistant closing sales for you 24/7, 365 days a year. So one example that we've been giving is, we sell this dog mat. It's like a big dog bed. And we sell it through different social selling channels, like Facebook, for example. And we have it out there. We have it published on Facebook. And anytime someone comes and comments on that, depending on what they comment, we can, or the AI technology, the special virtual sort of sales assistant, will reply to that person, give them a link to where they can actually buy it. And if they've got other questions, it can sort of follow up with them as well. So it's all amazing sort of technology. And what it's designed to do is to help you get more conversion, so boost your conversion rates. And in the past, it was quite time consuming, and I would say almost a full-time job if you wanted to be selling on multiple different channels. But tools like the AI technology that we've got built into component number 5, the converters, make it so much more streamlined, meaning that the average Joe who works a day job 8-10 hours a day can have something like this going as a side gig and be earning thousands of dollars a day in a completely automated fashion. And this is technology that's brand new. No one's ever seen anything quite like it before. Now, on this note of social selling, we've built another piece of software that you're going to get access to called Socializer. And the thing that I love about Socializer is it allows you to quickly identify viral physical products. So maybe there's a product that's selling like hotcakes and it's just going crazy in social media. Socializer will highlight this kind of a product to you, and then you can zip over to Oracle, which has got millions and millions and millions of products, find that product as a hot seller, zap it into your site, and the click of a button, and then you can start selling it as well. So it's a great tool for uncovering these little treasure troves of products, these little pockets of amazing products, and not just amazing products, but amazing traffic opportunities that you can then leverage. And this is something that we've never been able to do in the past, because firstly, we haven't had a way of identifying what those winning products are. And even if we did have that, we didn't have a source for those products. And even if we did have a source for those products or a way to find them, we didn't have a way to zap them into the HQ and then get them out into all the different sales channels, which is really what makes this whole thing magic, is all of these tools are designed to play nicely with one another. Now, the next couple of components, and these ones are really important as well. Number 7 is done for you items. So what we've got here, we've tried to do a lot of the heavy lifting. And I mentioned earlier that we spent $2.41 million in testing different ads. And a lot of that money was spent to test out engagement funnels and test out different conversion funnels. So the real upside for you here is you can come in and use our proven, tried and tested funnels and literally use them in a copy paste way. So they've all been done for you. You can just like copy and paste. And again, this is designed to help you really hit the ground running, to scale much, much faster, and to sidestep things that may have otherwise been headaches or things that you just didn't know how to do. So we've got done for you components in there. And then the support. And the support is absolutely amazing. Like I'm so proud and grateful to work with the support team that we've got. We've got people all over the world, and we've got every single time zone covered. So we've got people on the east coast of Australia, the west coast of Australia. We've got people in New Zealand. We've got people all over the United States. We've got people in Canada, in the UK. And all of our support team are people that have been with us for the past couple of years. So they know the Kibo Code model. They know the foundational model of the Kibo Code, and they can help you get started, just like they've helped other people get started in the past. And we really do take our support seriously. Like we really do try to sort of bend over backwards to make sure that whatever you need, you're going to get it as part of the support package here. So it's not unusual for us to, for example, film an over-the-shoulder demonstration video just for you, showing you how to do something on your store. It's not unusual for us to log into your store and set something up that needs to be set up slightly differently to how you've got it, because we just bend over backwards. I mean, we only do one intake of customers per year, because we really only do one training like this, one sort of public training that's available to the public to invest in per year. And that gives us a real advantage when it comes to the support side of it, because we've got this specialized support system. These people are not jack of all trades support people. These are people that are specialists in this particular model. They all speak English as a first language, by the way, and they're just great people to work with. And like I say, I think Steve and I are really, really lucky to have these amazing people on our team, and you get enormous benefit of that. So something else that's really important is this is 100% proven at this point. We've had hundreds and hundreds of success stories, people who have come through and crushed it using the Kibo Code model. And those people didn't have any of these bells and whistles, because what we're doing in 2022, it's radically different. We've rethought absolutely everything. We literally sat down and we said, okay, well, what would we need to do, or what do we need to include in Kibo Eclipse to make sure it is the best, the fastest, the easiest e-commerce system that we have ever come up with. And this is why, by the way, people who were involved in our first 2 iterations of the Kibo Code are jumping into this one because they know the value there. They're just jumping right into it. They also know that it is lifetime access for the first time ever, and it is the final, it is the absolute final Kibo Code training that we are ever going to do. Now, this here is a high-level overview. There's actually a lot more that we're going to be doing as well. So, for example, we've got our live 2-day virtual event, and this is where we try to replicate you being at a live event with presentations like this, by the way, for 2 full days, where we just give you a lot more information, and we can go off into different tangents and really talk about things on the fringes of our business that will help you grow your business and take it to the next level. So that's a lot of fun. And to put that in perspective, you know, these are things that have got a lot of real value. In the past, we've done, you know, 2-day live events in person in places like Las Vegas, Orlando, and London, Sydney, lots of places all around the world. And we've charged $2,000 to be able to attend that for 2 days. So what you're getting, and this is exclusive to Kibo Eclipse members, there's no other way that you can tune into these presentations, is 2 full days of just live training. There's no pitching or anything like that. It's just 100% training to help you and ensure that you've got a competitive edge over everyone else out there that's doing this. Now, I've mentioned a few times that this is the final time that we're doing this. And I really want you to know that you've got no risk. You've got absolutely no risk for multiple reasons. Firstly, you don't have any of these headaches that I mentioned earlier, but perhaps the main reason you've got no risk is because we've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can change your mind in the first 30 days. Doesn't matter if it's 29 minutes from now or 29 days from now, you can change your mind and we will give you 100% of your money back. There are no catches here. You don't have to jump through any hoops or anything like that. You can just send us an email, hey, Aidan, Steve, change my mind, and we will give you your money back. And look, we want you to be able to have complete peace of mind. I think the sad news is that there are a lot of training programs out there these days that don't offer a refund period. They just say, jump in, give us your money, and you know, whatever happens, happens. But we don't do that. We're giving you complete peace of mind and being able to jump in completely risk-free. In fact, there are other programs out there that sell for, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, and they've got no kind of safety net. But you've got not just a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is completely ironclad. I mean, we've been doing this for well over a decade now. We've got very good reputations in the industry, and I mean, we stand by our promises. And by the way, we sell through ClickBank. So if you really want to, it's not even, you don't even have to deal with us to get your money back. You know, it's easy and it's streamlined. Now, the other reason that you've got no risk, and this is really where we go above and beyond, and we can do this because we know our method works, but what we do is we offer you a double your money back guarantee. So as long as you follow absolutely everything, you go through the steps, you reach out to us when you need help. If you're not making sales inside your first 60 days, we will not just give you your money back, but we will double it. So we're trying to put you in a position which is a complete no-brainer here. We're trying to put you in a position where you can look at this logically and say, okay, well, you know, you can get into this. If it doesn't work, you get your money back. If you put the effort in and follow the steps, you've got double your money back guarantee as well. So what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst thing that could happen? There really is no downside here. And, you know, that's by design. We are so confident that you can succeed, but you do have to jump in. And actually right below this video right now, you should be able to see a link that you can go to be able to invest in this. So if you go to that link, you can actually get started right now. And if you do get started right now, and if you let us know that you are getting started right now, and the way that you will do this is by typing in, after you've finished your investment, type in the live chat box and let me know. And I can see those things that come in on background here, and let me know that you have jumped in, and I'm going to throw in some extra special bonuses for you as well. So we've got 3 different bonuses that I'm going to throw in. The first one is our 2022 social media marketing plan. And we've got a social media marketing manager in our business, and she is amazing. She creates our social media marketing plans, not just for our e-commerce business, but for all of our businesses, including, you know, our software businesses and different other businesses that we've got. And you're going to get the blueprint, okay? As long as you jump in right now, and as long as you let me know that you have invested in this during Super Sunday. And if you've already invested in this in the past, that's fine. It's okay. We'll make sure you get that as well. The second thing that you're going to get is a very special training that I'm going to be giving you on crypto and e-commerce and the interesting overlap that exists right now. Now, if you're not interested in crypto, you can just ignore this one. Or maybe you want to be a fly on the wall and just find out what we're talking about. But there's a very interesting overlap between crypto right now. Remember, it's one way that people are starting to be able to buy things online, and e-commerce stores happen to be selling a lot of things online. So it's an interesting space that we are diving into and exploring, I would say. And if you get in right now, then we'll let you be a fly on the wall and get all the intel and insights that we get out of that. And the third bonus that I'll give you if you jump in right now is a special copywriting bootcamp, which is where I'll guide you through simple things you can do to get better results, from better conversions from any kind of business, messaging that you put out there. It could be on a web page, it could be a radio ad, it could be a video, absolutely anything. And these are simple things that anyone can implement in a matter of minutes. So it's kind of like a fast start guide to copywriting. So you can get all of that and everything else that's here just by investing today. But I do want you to know that the clock is ticking here. We've been open to the public for a few days now, and we're getting very close to hitting capacity. I mean, the people that have been jumping in, it's just been mind-blowing for us. I think people are jumping in faster than they have ever before. So what that ultimately means is that we're going to be shutting down sooner than we may have anticipated. Okay, so again, you don't want to be left out on the outside here. You want to make sure that you are on the inside. So I think that for now is a good overview of sort of where we're at. And Steve, it might be a good time now for us to go ahead and give away some cash.
Okay, fantastic. You want to do $250?
Yeah, let's do that. 2 times $250. So guys, and if you have just joined us or if you weren't here at the start, the way that you can win some cash, and we've got lots more to give away throughout the next couple of hours, is to comment and use the chat box that you can see just below, not really a chat box, chat sort of system, chat box or something, that you can see just below on the right hand of this broadcast. So people who have been participating that have been getting their names in the draw to win this cash. So do we have a couple of
well, actually, what Mark is going to find them, within the people that have been participating in chat. And what's going to happen is Mark is going to message those folks so that he can get their email address and that kind of thing. So that's happening as we speak. Let's see. Mark is telling me, okay, we only get first names. So then Mark will follow up and say, hey, what's your name? What's your email address? But Bob is the first one. And
if your name is Bob, then good chance that you're one of the winners.
But
here.
You'll know if it's you because Mark is going to message you back and say, hey, you won. Give us your email address so we can PayPal you. And I'm just waiting for Mark to put in a second name here. Well, he's typing. I can see he's typing. Jason.
There we go.
Jason is the second name. So congrats, Bob and Jason. And if you don't know if you're the Bob and Jason, because there probably are more than one Bob and Jason on, again, Mark is going to be following up with you through the chat. So it'll be all good. All right.
Yep. Okay.
Good.
So
do you want me
Steve,
to share my screen?
yeah.
We can kind of look into some of the differences, why this is a different opportunity, that kind of thing.
Yep. And while you do that, I'll get over to my other desk here and I'll see everyone again shortly.
All right. Amazingly enough, Aiden actually did that whiteboard all himself, which if my life depended on it, I couldn't do that because it would just look like, well, it would look horrific, but his looks pretty good. So, okay, let me just move some things around my desktop here. We're going to take a closer look at a whole bunch of things. And we're going to start with talking a little bit about why this is such a different opportunity and kind of a different model. So it's pretty revolutionary, I think. And we've got, there's a lot of reasons, but let's focus on 6 big reasons why this is a pretty revolutionary model. Okay. So the first is just the simplicity. This whole system is built on a core model, a foundational model that we've been teaching for the last couple of years. And, it's kind of like, it's that model plus just a whole bunch of things that we've added on over the years. And then some pretty dramatic changes in the whole e-commerce world. I think it's not an overstatement to say that it's the most dramatic things that have changed in the last 20 years, as far as I can tell. But it all starts, right, with the core Kibo code model, which is, just a really rock solid, consistent e-commerce system for selling physical products online. And, it's something that's predictable, it's reliable, and, it grows dramatically every year. We make thousands of dollars every day with this system. And I think the other thing that speaks to its simplicity is that there are, with 10 years of teaching people how to build businesses and thousands of students, we sort of know where the skeletons are. We kind of know where the places that people get into trouble, roadblocks that they're going to encounter, just things that get in their way. And we've gotten rid of pretty much all of those. But here's some of those usual suspects right here. You don't need to develop a product of your own. You don't need a lot of capital to go out and you don't need any capital to go out and buy inventory. You don't need to figure out where to store that inventory. People used to put it in their garage, in their living room, and, fulfill orders from their, right in front of the TV, trying to package things up and everything, which is fine, but, it's kind of a pain in the ass, and it definitely gets in people's way. So nothing, you don't have to deal with you don't have to ever touch the inventory. You don't have to deal with overseas suppliers. You don't have to be a copywriter, a web designer, a computer programmer to figure out, interfaces. You don't have to be located in the United States. You don't need any kind of special permissions or licenses or reseller certificates. So, all of these represent areas, and probably the biggest ones are cash, and in this model, you just need absolutely zero capital, zero cash to jumpstart. You're not paying for traffic. You're not paying for the inventory. The only time you ever pay for any piece of inventory is when someone else has already bought it from you, right? So when you get rid of all the potential roadblocks, then, it definitely I think by default is a lot simpler. Another big area is that, we don't focus on niches. Most business opportunity classes and opportunities and models, they start with, all right, let's first research a market or a niche, and we'll pick the gardening niche, and then we're gonna brand everything gardening. We're gonna the website, the logo, and we're only gonna look at those products, and on and on and on. Listen, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing. In fact, I sort of alluded to this before, but the typical kind of life cycle of a Kibo code empire is you start with you don't care about the niche, and then you start making money and you start selling products in any kind of niche, and then you probably will transition into, I kind of like the gardening niche and I've had success there, and I'm more interested in these products now that I'm selling them. And so, you kind of focus more on that, and then maybe you move into your own branded products and everything. But where it starts, the path of least resistance, the easiest way is not to worry about any of that up front. And so you're not worried about, any kind of niches or markets, and you're just worried about products. So it sort of frees you up, and you can focus just on any kind of product. It doesn't matter, if it's, a brand new pop culture type product, or if it's some, mundane commodity type thing like a stapler or office products. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters, right, is that you are making money with those products. And then the other thing is that, we talked a little bit about this, where you're not paying for traffic, and we use these secret free is the important word that's not in here, traffic sources to test lots of products quickly. And you get rid of the ones that, don't convert or aren't as profitable. You keep the ones that are making you the most money, and you kind of rinse and repeat. And this is really key, because it gets rid of every single bit of risk. If you're not paying for the products themselves, which you're not, you never purchase the inventory up front. You never buy a product until you've actually sold it. Okay. That's the dropship model. If you're not paying for the products and you're not paying for traffic, then you can test an unlimited number of products with zero consequences, with zero risk. Because what's the worst thing that can happen? If it doesn't sell, if it's not profitable, well, you haven't actually spent any money. So you're good, right? So at the end of the day, getting rid of all this risk, getting rid of all the roadblocks, using free, very, very effective traffic sources, you end up with a store that's full of products that all convert. to sales and profits. And, you're never spending any money. You're never taking any risk. You're never even having to do a lot of like product research because, you can just kind of throw stuff at the wall because there's no effort and there's no consequences. And you're not dealing with Amazon or overseas suppliers, and you're not ever touching the product. So simplicity, speed, no risk, those are huge differentiators with this model. The second is that it's a very clear cut, blueprint, kind of a paint by numbers sort of thing. And, it can be broken down into some pretty straightforward and simple steps. You're going to in step one, you're going to identify a core selection of products. And, we'll give you a little bit of a demonstration on how this works with our technology, which is pretty impressive. Aiden started talking a little bit about it. But I think until you see it, you don't quite understand how it applies here and how it makes these steps kind of as simple as you see them on the slide. Normally you see a step on here and it's filled with pitfalls and places that you're going to run into problems and complexity. But that's not the case here when you have the right tools. So you're going to
Steve, just
yeah.
Sorry, just by the way, I can actually demo that technology anytime you want. I don't know if you want me to us to sort of go off script and me to do that now, or if we do it a little bit later.
Well, maybe the best thing to do is to get through the steps and then sort of do the demo then, because it will sort of map to the steps, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yep.
So in step one, what you're going to see is the ability to quickly, build out your store, because you need that, right? With kind of push of the button, you're going to see the ability to quickly find, suppliers and products and quickly get them sucked into the store so that they can, start to make money. And so, this is kind of what I was telling about. You're going to easily be able to do this with the special software that Aiden is going to demonstrate in just a minute. And it quickly creates the exact same storefront that we use, to generate thousands. And so you can very, very quickly get from zero to, I've got my website set up, I've got the store there, I've got products in there, I'm ready to sell fast. And then you go to step two. And what you're going to do is you're going to use those traffic sources that we talked about that are free, risk-free, fast, high commercial intent. And we like to start with Facebook Marketplace. And we could do a whole webinar just on the Facebook Marketplace because it is, that much of a game changer. And the biggest reason is that it's kind of misunderstood and it's not really used by a lot of people in the way that we're using it. A lot of people think of it as, it's like for garage sale stuff and things like that. And it is. I mean, people use it for that. But there are plenty of companies like us and all of our students who are using it for traditional direct-to-consumer retail sales of new products. And that's where it really shines. And it really shines because it's got a huge amount of traffic, which, is hundreds of millions of monthly users, high commercial intent, and it's free. And there are no barriers to entry. And we are finding similar success over the last year with Pinterest and TikTok, which are very similar. The same kind of holy grail of traffic where you got a lot of it, it's high commercial intent, and it's free. Well, I mean, and there are no barriers and no hurdles for you to jump through. So you can quickly generate free traffic and quickly generate sales. I mean, here's an example of showing you that, the Facebook Marketplace is not just for the stuff that was left over in grandma's attic. Here's brand new laser engraving machine that we can sell all day long on Facebook Marketplace alone, generating, over $21,000 in sales. So, you're going to be listing your products on the Facebook Marketplace, which again, you can, and Aiden will show you this, you can quickly do right from within the Kibo HQ. And you are going to be getting US-based buyers quickly and easily. You can do the same thing with TikTok and Pinterest, or you can use those instead. And we want to get you to that first milestone of about $1,000 a week in profit. And then from there, what you're trying to do is multiply your marketplaces. You're identifying those profitable products that you had put onto TikTok, Pinterest, and or Facebook Marketplace. And you can move them to Microsoft Shopping, Google Shopping, Walmart, Target, Newegg, all those kinds of other marketplaces Most of them are free, where you can basically multiply your sales. I mean, the minute you go from just being on one marketplace to being on more than one, you're going to have more eyes on your product. You're going to make more sales. You're going to generate more traffic, more sales, more profit. Before we get into these exact ones, maybe this is a good time to do that demonstration then, Aiden.
Yeah. We can do it. Let me just get my screen organized here, and I will share my screen with you. So, Steve, can you just confirm that you can see my screen there?
I can see it.
Great. Okay, so what you guys are seeing here is the inside of our HQ, and this is where you can see a lot of the key metrics, and it's also the secret weapon that streamlines absolutely everything that Steve has been mentioning and that I was mentioning previously when I was up there at the whiteboard. Now, first thing you can do here is just quickly you can see, what's your progress been like? How are you tracking? And I think this is just a good visual indicator. Here we can see past 30 days, 54,000 in this store. Last 7 days, 15,000, and 3,100 a day, 2,192. And yeah, I mean, you get the idea. This is a very powerful system. But the real thing that I want to highlight for you here is just how it streamlines everything. So if you have never set up an e-commerce store before, it can be a little bit daunting. And we've really tried to sort of tackle that head on and make it just as streamlined and seamless as humanly possible. And the first way that we do that is by this big blue button up the top, add new store. And when you go in there, literally at the click of a couple of buttons, you can have a store set up, installed and running. And it will look like a store. I mean, out of the box, it's going to look something like this because it's got all of that optimization already built into it. Now, so setting up a store is simple, and you can add multiple stores, and even right down to, for example, adding a logo, setting up navigation. It's all built in here in the store management portal, and you can have multiple stores in here that you can manage from all from the same place. So that's sort of at the core of what the HQ is all about. But then if we come down here, you'll see this link to Oracle, and Oracle is the place where you'll go to find products. So if we just take a look in Oracle here, this is what it looks like. And what we can see on the right-hand side are a bunch of different sliders. And these sliders allow me to very quickly filter products in a range of different ways. I can filter based on price. I can filter based on average product rating, number of reviews. I can only show top-rated sellers if I want to. Or I can just have fun and browse around page to page to page. And one thing that I like to do is, because half the time I don't even know what the hell these things are, but I find one that's done like some decent sales in the past 30 days. Like this one's done $1,984 in the last 30 days. And I've got no idea what this thing is, but I can click on it and I can get more information. So I can see the product cost, I can see the shipping cost, I can see how many sales it's done in the past 30 days. I can have a look at more images there if I want to. Normally you'd have a graph here that shows you the sales velocity over the past 4 months. I can see the supplier. I can see, and this one, for example, is one that's from eBay, and eBay is the main supplier in here, or I should say, wholesalers that are on eBay are the main supplier. And the beauty of that is, you don't need to, lose time by hunting down and finding different, suppliers to work with. You can just come here and use this straight out of the box. So really, and then if I wanted, I could add that to my import list. And when I add that to my import list, I could then come down here to my import list and I'll see different products on my import list. I can see the elevator door key. Again, I still don't know quite what that thing is, but I know that it's done some decent sales. I could hover over here, click publish to store. And when I do that, a few seconds later, it's going to be published. Sometimes I need to add in extra information. Like here, for example, there's a product description that I could add. For that, I can come down here, copy that, and I can paste it in there. I could do other bits and pieces. So I could say, okay, well, I want to sell this thing for $51, and that would give me a 41% margin and a profit of $21 per sale. I could add more photos. I could do lots of different things, and then I can just hit publish. And when I hit publish, it's going to be published to my store and we're good to go. And it literally just takes a few seconds. Now, when a product is published to your store, there's lots of different things that you can do. For example, I can come in and I can have a look at my products here and I can publish them. Well, this is actually, let me show you something else first. I can come to, like if I want to blast out my products into Facebook Marketplace, for example, I can come into this sales channel down here. I can select the item. I can click publish and it will publish it in an instant on the Facebook Marketplace, which is one of the channels that we use. And I can do the same thing for other channels as well. You can see down here, we've got Facebook Shop, Pinterest, Microsoft, Google, Walmart. And another thing which I was going to show you a moment ago is this posts. Now, you may remember I was talking about some AI technology that we've developed, which is like a virtual sales assistant. Now, this here is kind of where we control that from, or where I should say, where we can see the results of that AI technology working. And so this here is, we can see different products that we've published in different social media channels. And we can see how many comments have been put on those products. And when a comment has been put on one of those products, we can actually see and have a crack at actually converting that person who's making that comment into a buyer. And when that happens, we'll see the orders come through here. Don't worry so much about how it works, just know that it does work, and it massively streamlines our approach to making automated sales. Could be sales coming in the middle of the night, just on complete autopilot. Now, the other thing I want to mention here is that this HQ has all the bells and whistles that you could possibly need or want in a e-commerce store. So, for example, you've got discounts. You can create discount codes. You can create gift cards. There's a whole range of different marketing tactics that you can do. This here is an upsell funnel where I've literally just selected one of the products I've got in my store. It's an add to cart funnel, and I can set some of the parameters down here. I click another button and it's done. We've got this single page checkout, which is really good as well. So now I've come over to a store here, and if I click add to cart, you're going to see that I can go to the checkout, and it's single page checkout, and then we are done. Now, at the moment, I am in Argentina, so in different places, it will show, it's now showing in Argentine pesos. You see that? Now, if I was to open up the same page and I was in the UK, it would be showing it in British pounds. Or if I was in France, it would be showing it in euros. And this is something that may seem like a trivial detail, but actually it's not, because this allows you, like, it literally sort of opens up the doors to being able to sell in more places, literally more places around the world. You're no longer limited to just selling in the US marketplace. Even if we do think that's the path of least resistance and a place that you should start, this is still something that enables you to sell in lots of different marketplaces. And that's one of the ways to sort of multiply your income, is by selling in different marketplaces. And this is one of the things that we're focused on more in 2022 than ever in the past. And there are a lot more things here as well. You got the viral, you got Socializer, and I mean, you can just do a whole bunch of things. And really, this is the centralized one-stop shop for building an e-commerce business, because, like I said earlier, it's kind of like the glue that ties everything together, and it's incredibly newbie friendly. You don't have to mess around trying to configure different bits and pieces and then make your website look good. It's all of our best practices are built in here right out of the gate, and you can find these amazing products. So using Oracle, and again, I think we've just overcome every headache or stumbling block that we've identified over the past couple of years in working with our first two groups of Kibo Code members. Now, that's one of the things that I think makes Kibo Eclipse just so superior to anything we've done in the past, is that we really have ironed out all the kinks and got this to a place where it's streamlined and you can get products listed literally in a matter of seconds, and it's all seamless. So, Steve, bit of an overview there. I don't know if there's anything that you want to add. Otherwise, we can get back to
I think that's great. It really maps nicely to the to the steps that we were going through. I think it kind of completes the circle there. So I think that's great.
Cool.
Can you see my slides again?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Okay, cool. So these are, it's always good, I think, to see some exact products. And these are, I love these because these are very different from, probably the normal types of like small kind of products that that you normally see. These are products that we're selling on Walmart, and these are real world examples. Here's a big, very big swing set. Now remember, you don't ever have to have the product in your garage or anything like that. You don't have to ever see it or anything, but selling that, and to the tune of $50,000 in sales on the swing set. And here's an above ground swimming pool. So almost $16,000 selling on Walmart. So you just get a feel for what these actual products are. And after you do go through the steps, then you're going to look to scale. And there's lots of different ways to scale. And most of the time when you're scaling, it's usually a combination of several options. You have sort of these tools in your back pocket, and you kind of pick a couple different ones and combine them. But obviously, one of the easiest things to do is to just simply have more products. If you have 2 products, successful products that you're making money on, and you want to make more money in scale, then have 4 products, have 6 products, have 10 products. So you can kind of repeat the steps of going through and finding products and testing them and keeping the most profitable ones and getting rid of the ones that are less profitable. And so you're, keeping the winners, getting rid of the losers, and that dramatically increases profits. The other thing you could do is keep expanding your marketplaces. We're going to certainly make the case. Kibo is really all about, we're e-commerce and we want to be everywhere, mostly but Amazon. That's kind of like, in general, that's the core model, right? So there's a lot of everywhere to go. If you're looking at TikTok, Facebook Marketplace, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook Shops, Google Shopping, Microsoft Shopping. I'm leaving some out. And some of the other big ones, Walmart, Target, Newegg, BH Photo, there's so many of these different marketplaces, and there are new ones coming on all the time. And you'll see why that is the model, and that's where all the people are headed. When we talk a little bit about what's going on with Walmart later on. But, now we want to once we start doing the scaling, we want to get through to milestone 2 and then milestone 3, reaching somewhere around $10,000 a week in profit, which is very attainable. So let's talk about Walmart, because there's a couple of things going on in 2022 now, really started towards the tail end of last year, that I think are the most significant developments in e-commerce that I have seen in the last 20 years. And the beauty of it is that they are both right in the Kibo Code's wheelhouse. I mean, Kibo Code was designed to take advantage of these 2 things that we didn't know were going to happen in 2022. So just like company Zoom is a great example. They were a good company. They were successful, profitable, life was good. Then the pandemic hit, and lo and behold, they were in the best position ever to take advantage of the things that happened. And that's kind of where we see ourselves with 2 big things, and they both have to do with Walmart. Just some background, Walmart is the biggest retailer on the planet. And that is a pretty big statement. They are more than twice the size of Amazon, $543 billion a year in revenue, 2 million people employed. And, they have been, Aiden was talking a little bit about this. They've been, building out their online marketplace. It's been growing like crazy. And a lot of people, I think, were thinking that, for the last 10 years, Walmart's been sitting around going, well, this whole online e-commerce thing, we don't need that. We'll let Amazon own that, and we'll be the brick and mortar. We're still the big guy. That nothing could be further from the truth. They definitely stumbled out of the gate, like everyone, and they let Amazon get ahead of them in the online space for sure. But what they've been doing for the last 10 years is they've been being very patient. They've been saying, look, we're the big guy. We're going to be really patient. We're going to build out our online marketplace. And then we're going to look for, we don't know when this is going to happen, but we're going to look for our opportunity to jump and our opportunity to take on Amazon. And what's happened is now is the time that they've decided to do that. And I'll tell you why that is on the next slide. But because they've decided to do it, that's one of the big staggering changes that has happened recently that plays right into the Kibo code model. So what that means is they now have started to take a page out of the playbook of Amazon, because why not, right? And they're letting people like us and potentially you take advantage of their huge marketplace. They're letting us sell on their marketplace on Walmart.com, their online marketplace, just like Amazon started doing 15 some odd years ago. Okay. So it's a chance to get in on the ground floor, because there's not a lot of people doing this yet. Okay. In on the ground floor, just like we did on Amazon 15 years ago, carve out your piece of the pie, own it, and take advantage of this marketplace that I think is going to rather quickly start to equal Amazon, which is staggering. And this is the first thing that I think is the biggest change in e-commerce in the last 20 years. The second thing, which is related, is that there have been some huge behavior changes and some huge buying patterns that have changed. Now, we saw that when COVID first happened, right? We saw, e-com was kind of going like this. That's great. That's great. Life is good. We're all happy. COVID hits, e-com goes, whoop, like that, right? Because everyone and their brother, started to buy online. And that happened right in, God knows what year are we in? That happened in 2020, And that's great for all e-commerce models, including Kibo code and including Amazon. But what happened last year is something that was particular to Amazon and was bad for them and good for us and good for Walmart. What happened is that Amazon broke. So people were trained and used to, for the most part, well, I'm just going to go right to Amazon. It's easy. They got my credit card. I'm a Prime member. And I know that whatever I type into the search bar on Amazon, it's going to be there. I can get it delivered to me today, maybe if I live in Chicago or Manhattan, but probably worst case tomorrow, easy peasy. And it's going to be a price I can live with. Probably won't be the cheapest, but I don't care, and that's great. But what happened is, because of the supply chain issues that happened last year, Amazon wasn't able to provide that. You would type something in, and it wouldn't be there, or you couldn't get it delivered for weeks, because not only Amazon had supply chain issues, but FedEx and UPS, they've essentially just given up. I mean, they're still talking about, well, FedEx went from when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight to, yeah, we're going to do our best. That's kind of what everybody's doing right now, and it's ridiculous. I'm not going to go on a rant about FedEx and UPS because I think they're using COVID as an excuse. But anyway, there was some real stuff, and now it's just silliness. But bottom line is that broke Amazon, and people said, well, damn it, I can't find it. I can't get it fast, or I'd have to pay this incredible fee because of supply and demand issues. Well, there must be other places I could buy online. Lo and behold, there are all the places that we use for the Kibo code. And so now people were like, yeah, we're going to go to Walmart. We're going to go to Target. We're going to go to Facebook Marketplace. We're going to go to Instagram, Pinterest, whatever. It doesn't matter. Right. And they started to realize, oh yeah, there's life outside of Amazon. And that's why Walmart decided that now is the time to push the accelerator pedal and make their move. And they're right. This was the time. Now is the time. That's what they're doing. So that's great for them. It's great for us because it plays right into the Kibo model. And then this is independently great for Walmart, but also great for us, because where do we live? We live on all of those marketplaces that are outside of Amazon. And so it's absolutely the second thing that is the biggest e-commerce game changer that I've seen in 20 years. And Walmart is just, the opportunity there is staggering. Just to give you an idea, it's early days. We just started selling on there last year, $160,000 in the best week, $220,000 best month. It essentially just pours rocket fuel on the Kibo code system, which people have such success with. Reason number 4, and I think we will probably be able to gloss over this a bit because they're mostly the things that Aiden demonstrated. But, you do need, not only do you need to basically work the system and some determination, but you need that source of products, because you don't need a ton of them to be successful, but you need products to test. You need products for when your products maybe go out of stock, or maybe start to, the pricing changes or something like that. You need automation. I mean, automation is huge, because otherwise you're tied down to something. That's why I tell people not to go into a consulting business, because the minute you do that, then you're the product and you have to trade hours for dollars, and you can only work so many hours, right? But if you have automation, you can make money while you sleep, or while you're on the beach, or while you're out with the kids, or playing golf, whatever it is that you're doing, right? Which is what we do. I could literally make money when I sleep. And you need to make sure that you can make conversions. So Aiden really went through all these, but they really take care of, those key things that you need, and they provide the shortcuts that are necessary to make sure that you get rid of risk, you can move fast, and you don't hit any of those roadblocks. So he went over all the Kibo HQ, where you can, build out your store, and launch all your products after you find them with Kibo Oracle. He went through and showed a couple of the converters, and there's plenty of more of those. We just don't have the time to go into them. And then obviously we spent a lot of time on Oracle, to find those suppliers and products that you can test and you can use. So reason number 5 is, I think, a proven track record of results. We always ask people to, when they can, take a couple minutes out of their day and give us their success stories. And we have so many that we could choose from. And so, there's a direct track record of people who are having success with the system. Here's Vaughn, who did $1,800 in his best day, $3,950 his best week, $13,000 his best month. Here's Damien, best day was $944, best week $3,853, best month almost $11,000. Here's Riley, generated over $1,400 on his best day, $4,670 on best week, and $10,410 on best month. And they just go on and on. Padraig here with over $6,000 in only 7 days. Here's Peter, over $3,000 in just 1 day. Dominic, over $11,000 in a month. $1,200 in 24 hours with Mike. You got $1,276 in 24 hours from Robert. Over $2,000 in a single day from Tim. I mean, we have a private forum for our coaching, our teaching programs here, and we have kind of like these badges and achievement, badges and points, milestones, and there's so many people. People have to request them and say, hey, I've reached this, and here's the evidence of it, and so on, and then we reward them with their badges. But just so many people over and over again are succeeding. And people from all over the world. I think it's, and here's somebody who says beats digging ditches, which is the thing that everybody's pretty tired in our companies of hearing me say all the time. When anybody complains about, oh, geez, I got to go look for another product. Well, for Christ, I got to stop cursing stuff, but you could be out there digging ditches, for God's sakes, for a living. this is not exactly hard work. But it's 30% of our folks are from outside the US, which I think is, obviously it's pretty significant. And so just goes to show you. And there's a lot of people who this is their first real success online, because of the simplicity, because of the beginner friendliness, because of the zero risk, because of the speed. There's just lots and lots of reasons of people who have tried a lot of different things in the past, and this is the thing that really made the difference for them. And with everything that's going on, and by the way, so to put this in perspective, all of these people are people who have done this without the benefit of some of these critically important things that we're bringing to bear with Kibo Eclipse in 2022. And so, there's never been a better time, because you've got this core foundation of a very reliable system and then you just pour this rocket fuel right on top in the form of these new software, these new tools, the big changes that are happening in the world of e-commerce, but it's not magic, and it's important that everybody understands that. I mean, you have to do the work, you have to take action, you have to follow the steps. It is not magic, but it has a huge advantage over magic, as I keep saying, and that is that it's real, and magic is not. So yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about with potential. That all of the results that you saw and all of the success stories and all of that sort of stuff is great, but it's nothing compared to what's possible now. So, I mean, I think a lot of people are probably saying, can you really do this yourself? And, you've got to say yes. I mean, there's just no reason to say no. I mean, there's many of the folks that have had massive success have had absolutely zero experience, and it's providing kind of that bread and butter, reliable income that supports families and dreams and to hundreds of early adopters. And it's generated, the proof is out there. The numbers are out there. The people are out there. The street cred is out there. It's generated, $47 million in online revenue, and probably we estimate somewhere over $20 million in profit. And there's just no reason why you should be asking yourself, can you really do this? And come up with the answer no. There just is no reason. So your most important thing to do, today and then beyond after that, is to take action. I mean, first of all, you've got to, there's a button as you're watching this that you can push, that you can take action right now. And that is your job today. Honestly, your job tomorrow is following the course, and doing what we tell you to do, and following the steps and working the plan. But your job today is to push that button and to take some action. And there's absolutely no reason why you can't be one of these success stories.
Yeah, it's really true there, Steve. And we're actually going to hear from one of our success stories probably in about 10 minutes time here. I'll take the slides away from you there because I want to recap on a few things, but you are going to hear from one of our success stories, one of our students who has come into this and done really well for himself over the past year or so, and we'll get to doing that in about 10 minutes time. Also, just Steve mentioned a moment ago that just below this video where we are broadcasting it, you'll see a live chat option. We encourage you to use that if you've got questions. Like, if you're on this workshop right now, then I assume that you're here because you want to be trying to make an informed decision and find out, is this something that you want to do in 2022? Is this right for you? And it's, it's a high chance you've actually got some questions around that. We're going to do our best to answer all of them, but use that question box, little chat pop up there, and we'll make sure that we help you out. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about, and I'm going to recap the different components. I did it a moment ago, a little bit earlier on the whiteboard there. I'm going to do it now on the slides so that you can actually read as I'm presenting this to you. But one of the first questions that we've got from people regularly, and especially from people who have been involved in our past couple of versions of the Kibo code, are how is Kibo Eclipse different to what we've done in Kibo in the first two iterations of the Kibo code? And you're going to see how different it is when I get to really going down into granular detail of the different components. But I think one thing that you need to be aware of from the get-go is that so much has changed in the world of e-commerce, and Kibo Eclipse really reflects that. I mean, when we launched the first iteration of the Kibo code, that was pre-pandemic. So everything has changed. Even just 12 months ago, with our second iteration of the Kibo code, so much has changed in the online space. 12 months ago, we didn't even know really, we hadn't been in the trenches doing $35,000 a day on Walmart, but we are doing that now. In fact, just 12 months ago, we were focused sort of quite narrowly on just a couple of different marketplaces, whereas now we've got this whole smorgasbord of marketplaces, not just smorgasbord of marketplaces, but experience in the trenches actually selling on them. So I think we've eliminated a lot of these sort of headaches that people have had. We've eliminated some of the single points of failure, some of the struggles that some people have had as well with our approach to keyword clips. And of course, you are getting lifetime access to this here today as well. So when I look back to where we were with the first two iterations, I sort of feel like we were crawling along with these weights tied around our legs. And now with Eclipse, everything is just so streamlined. The technology is so much more advanced that we really can sprint forward and get results so much faster. So if you're someone who was involved with the first couple of iterations of the Kivo Code, I would say you absolutely need to get this, to keep your finger on the pulse and to get access to all the new technology and so forth. And like I say, we really have made some massive breakthroughs. Everything is faster and simpler than ever before. And our battle cry is speed, profit, and scale. And we've got the 30-day challenge. We are incredibly confident in being able to get you to a point where you're making sales, and not just a couple of sales. I mean, we want to get you to the point where you're making 100 sales in your first 30 days. And the way that you'll get there is by using the different software and tools and following the recipe that we've put together. And by doing that, you will see the magic happen. You know, I don't know if you're going to get sales on day 1 or day 5 or day 15, but you will start getting sales come in as long as you follow the steps. And that's going to give you a massive psychological boost. I mean, we've seen that this is one of the real keys to people getting that breakthrough, is to get not just 1 or 2 sales, but consistent sales coming every day. And when you do that, I think something changes inside of you where you know, oh, wow, you know, I can really do this. And when you're making $20 a day, you can see how you can make $200 a day and so on and so forth. So that's our big first mission, is to get you to making your first 100 sales, and hopefully we'll get you there in the first 30 days. And we'll secure that first big win, and it's going to give you the confidence to really persevere and thrive with this business model. And it'll also help you get to that first $1,000 per week profit milestone as well. So I'm going to run through the 8 components now of Kivo Eclipse, and I did go through them previously on the whiteboard, but I'll go through them now just to recap everything. And then, like I say, we will invite someone on, one of our members, to share his thoughts and his story a little bit as well. So stay tuned for that, and we'll give some more cash away as well. Now, the way that we're doing our training in 2022 is radically different to the way we've done it in the past. And that's mainly because it's built around a watch and copy system, whereby we're actually going to be building this stuff live in front of you, and you're going to be able to see what we're doing and then replicate it. So we start off with the incubator. That's the first component. And this is where you're getting our complete recipe, all our best practices, everything that the recipe that we have refined over the past 13 years of running different e-commerce businesses. And this is at the cutting edge of e-commerce. I mean, so much has changed in the method, even over the past 6 months. E-commerce is changing at staggering pace right now. And we've built all of our changes into our brand new blueprint. And this is what I was screaming out for when I got started online. I wish I had something like this. And again, we've left no stone unturned, making sure that you're getting everything that you could possibly need from a training perspective. And that includes 100 plus videos, mind maps, PDFs with transcriptions and summaries of all the videos. And it's all in a members area that you can access anytime you want to. So it's all there for you. And then we've got these office hours where you'll get on a call with the likes of Steve or me or some of our coaches like Sean, for example, and be able to watch what we're doing and analyze different things that we'll do, like product analysis as an example. We'll do identifying products. We'll do optimizing a listing. We'll do building out a sales funnel right in front of you. And we do these 3 times a week. So you're going to have plenty of opportunities to engage with us. Make sure you're hitting those milestones get lots of demos, and just incredibly valuable. And we've seen people do really well as a result of tuning into these in the past. You're getting 12. You're also getting free access to Kibo HQ, which is this incredible software that I've been sharing with you. And it's a real game changer, because this is the thing that's going to allow you to put your foot on the accelerator and do incredibly well with your Kibo business potentially, because it ties all the sort of loose pieces together. And it's one thing that we've tried to do here is give you all the different pieces of the puzzle versus just saying, here's one thing, here's this other thing. No, we're giving you all of the pieces of the puzzle in sort of a cohesive way, so that you're not going to get overwhelmed, and you are going to have control at your fingertips to be selling in lots of different places. So again, this has been something that we've been building up to for a couple of years now, and it's incredible. You're absolutely going to love it. General public will be paying $499 a month, and you're getting free access. You're going to be able to find profitable products faster with Oracle. I gave you a bit of a demo of this a few moments ago, but you can analyze thousands of products in seconds. The real challenge with finding products is, one, that it takes time. So if you were doing it manually, it could take you 10 minutes to like analyze a product. And then after that 10 minutes, you might find out, well, that was no good. Whereas what we're doing here, we can use a few sliders, run a few filters, and identify thousands and thousands of products in a matter of seconds, which you can then also zap into your store in seconds. So it's very, very streamlined. From the point of starting to look for a product to actually selling a product. It's streamlined from start to finish. And that's what makes Oracle so powerful and just such a game changer. Completely new. No one has ever seen this before. It's a new, excuse me, it's a new approach to identifying products to sell online and then actually selling them. Then we've got the converters. This is an image that sort of represents what we're doing here. And I shared this example before about how we are selling a dog bed, and we've got it, selling in different social channels. And anytime someone were to comment on that, and if they comment in a certain way using certain words, then we're going to reply to them in an automated fashion. And for example, if someone were to type in, "Oh, that looks really interesting, where can I get it?" Our AI technology will be able to identify what that person is asking and give them the relevant information. This is all pre-programmed. And it's a great conversion mechanism just to get more free sales, really. It's more like icing on the cake, if you want to think about it in that way. And then we've got Socializer. I mentioned this as well. A completely new software that will allow you to pinpoint and identify these viral physical product opportunities. And you can start selling them on your own store. But it's also a way that you can identify viral traffic opportunities that you can get yourself in front of. So interesting there, not just as a product identification tool, but also a traffic identification tool. And then we've got a lot of done-for-you components as well that will help you accelerate your business. So done-for-you scripts, done-for-you fill in the blanks templates, done-for-you high-converting landing pages, things that we've poured millions of dollars into testing and really fleshing out. And of course, the support. I mean, it's just so vital that you've got hand-holding support every step of the way. Although we've got a completely, battle-tested blueprint, there are always curveballs that are going to come at you. Like, for example, maybe you're selling in New Zealand and Instagram looks a little bit different in New Zealand to the way that we're seeing it where we are. That's not going to be a roadblock, but it may be like a little speed bump, and you're like, oh, what's this all about? But that's where this hand-holding support comes in. That's where this customization comes in. And that's where it's incredibly valuable to have experts, you're not just relying on Steve and me, you're relying on a whole team of experts all over the world. So we've got people in Australia who can know, how things work best in Australia, in New Zealand, in the UK, Canada, all over the world. So we really do sort of have your back, and we've got you well and truly covered. And I can tell you what, from over 13 years of selling physical products online, there is probably not an obstacle that you're going to come up against that we haven't already seen or solved, either for ourselves or for someone else. So this is just invaluable. I mean, you just can't put a price tag on something like this. You're getting access to the live events as well. Kibo achievements, as Steve mentioned, and all of the obstacles have been eliminated. You don't have to worry about traffic. You don't have to worry about paying for ads, high profit margins, and we're talking about getting you sales very, very quickly You don't need any special experience. It's the perfect opportunity for anyone, really. I mean, if you want to hit the reset button, if you're a complete newbie, if you're someone who's doing this, for the first time ever, fantastic. Or maybe you've got an online business already and you want add another income stream. Great. Add this into the mix. It's a great way to potentially make good cash flow. So we really believe in this, and we've seen firsthand how it's been able to change people's lives. I mean, when it really comes down to it, if you're looking for financial freedom, this is something that can make you more money, and it can make you more money from the comfort of your own home without having to go out there and do different things. You can make money just from your computer or even just from your smartphone in the comfort of your own home. But if you want to work from a beach resort, then fantastic, go ahead and do it. You could do that if you wanted to. If some people get into this or have got into the Kibo Code in the past couple of years because they've been looking at it as a way to make money in retirement. And, I've spoken to these people and they've told me that, if they can make an extra couple $100 a day in profit, that would be a game changer in their retirement. So I'm just sharing more ideas about ways that this has helped people and could help people. But I think ultimately it's the kind of thing that can allow you to live life on your terms, whatever that may be, because it's giving you that financial freedom, the geographic freedom, and also